So, next up, Leicester versus Watford.
I went first before, so go on, Keith.
Well,
At least
you
I
know,
think I did.
Watford have been a bit of a surprise to me this season. They really have. They've done all right. They've done all right so far. Leicester haven't surprised me at all.
They surprised me in the fact that they've been so poor, to be honest.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Strangely enough.
I mean, I did hear today that Brendan Rodgers' name is being banged about to be sacked. Apparently.
It's a bit odd because he was being touted around for the Manchester United job a couple of weeks ago. And then, I mean, I think also the Tottenham job as well. His name was in the hat, essentially.
His name's always in the mix.
Because he did all right. He's done all right with Leicester.
He's a good manager. He's a good manager.
He's a good manager.
He did well with Liverpool, to be honest.
Things aren't going right at Leicester. Let's be agreed on that.
But do you think there's a bit of disruption caused by that link with Manchester United? Because he came out and said basically it's an insult. It's an insult to say that I'm going to go to Manchester United. I'm happier here, you know.
Yeah, well, Stephen Gerrard, when he was interviewed by this journalist, they asked him about the link to Newcastle, and he turned around and said, "Do I look happy? Well, don't ask stupid questions." About a week or so after, it's got Aston Villa.
Anyway, I don't know, Leicester, just not the Leicester of the last few seasons that I remember.
You know, how old's that now? 35. And we were saying last week that they rely quite a lot on those goals.
Can you only rely on? I mean, this is a problem for Leicester, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, I mean, they bought Iheanacho. They bought Iheanacho from City. Admittedly, it's 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
I quite liked Iheanacho at City. I used to like him. I thought he was. He's just one of those. He just seems to like one of those natural born goal scorers. You know, almost like an Andy Cole. A Gary Lineker, if you like. You know, just put himself in the right place at the right time, bang the goal in. But really, since they bought him, they didn't really play him. And they started playing really well towards the end of last season.
And then scoring goals.
Yeah, and then again, it's sort of like it seems to have fallen away by the wayside again. And whether that's the manager doesn't trust him, or he doesn't do what the manager asks him to do, and then he's left out of the squad. But sometimes you've just got a natural born goal scorers. They're a rare breed, and I just don't think he gets the chances that he deserves really.
But the manager sees him.
Demarion Gray, you let go.
But the manager sees him on the training pitch. But then we go back to what we were saying before, yeah? Sometimes some managers get the best out of players. Sometimes they don't. You get a change of manager. Okay, Joe Linton was the example that we were talking about. Under Brucey, nothing. You was crucifying him.
Yeah.
In comes in Eddie Howe. Okay, all of a sudden,
Hey man, just over
a
a week.
different player. Yeah.
Over a week, like.
I mean, it's one game,
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see how that pans out.
But it is finally a decent game from him.
Yeah.
Matthew, I've never seen that
play like that.
Play in that kind of confidence. I really haven't.
And maybe that's what was missing. He just some players. Some players need you to, give them what all. Some players need you to, hammer into them.
But it's not just that. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. But it's also the manager merry-go-round that we have at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes managers need to change. Excuse me, the team. Okay, because
it's ridiculous. We've gone for a quart of the Premier League's managers already this season.
Yeah, but if they're not gelling, if they're not bringing the results, okay, maybe they need to go to another team. David Moyes is a classic example. He's gone back the second time to West Ham. West Ham are high flying. and he wasn't the first time round.
Well, he's got it right this time, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't the first time. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need it. I mean,
But then you need to get sacked to go somewhere else and then come back.
Well, that's the only way.
I
That's the
think
only
his
way.
confidence was knocked as well.
Yeah,
Massively.
we said that. We said
Yeah,
that.
so.
But I mean,
I mean,
obviously,
Brendan Rodgers being touted for replacing Pep Guardiola at City in 2 years' time. I mean, that's one of the names in the hat. You know,
And he probably will be.
and the idea that now at the moment he's under pressure. Obviously, he's under pressure at Leicester because the results haven't been quite what Leicester want at the moment.
no.
But then again, he's being linked with at least two managers.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. You have a player like Ronaldo. He goes through a season and he's not on top form. He's not scoring the amount of goals that he scored in the past. Okay. Do you say, okay, he's crap? Or do you say that he's just going through a blip? You know, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a quote cliche, you know.
Talking about me now, yeah.
I mean, on the other hand, Watford, right? I mean, obviously changed the manager.
Which they do on a regular basis.
It's quite frightening.
And he's had mixed results since he came in. Lost to Liverpool, won at Everton, lost 2, then won, obviously. Against what we'll probably describe, and I'm not being biased here as a City fan, very weak opposition. Because actually Manchester United haven't put up very much resistance in 3 out of the last 4 games. I understand they've won tonight. So
yeah, they won tonight,
so,
2-0.
Villarreal.
He understands that because I told him.
Yeah. So, you know, Ranieri for me, still don't think. I actually think Watford are in trouble this year. I really do, because Ranieri's results are going to be like that. They're going to be sporadic. They're not going to have consistent form for me. And yes,
Be careful what you say.
They beat up a very poor Everton side, I think, at the time, and they beat up a very poor Manchester United side at the time.
Don't do a Simon Jordan on us.
No, I'm not trying to be controversial.
He's had to eat his words.
I won't be surprised if Ranieri loses his job before the end of the season.
It is what it is
It
today.
wouldn't surprise me.
It's big business, lads. It's big business.
It is.
No, I agree with you.
But then they get relegated.
Wholeheartedly.
They have done in the past.
It just really is like there's a massive turnover at Watford with managers.
Not just Watford, Chelsea.
Well, Chelsea, Chelsea have got a massive budget to spend on players. So
and then you get Manchester United that kept Solskjaer
but they're
for
not
much longer than they should have
But
done.
they're not going to lose their Premier League status for that. And Watford possibly could do, because they've made a rash decision this season. They'll probably make a rash decision about Ranieri if the results don't come in. And I think Leicester shouldn't go down that path. And I don't think they will, because I think the structure, the ownership of the club isn't like that. They're not reactionary.
Yeah, it's not like that.
I mean, they got rid of Ranieri after, he had a poor run after they won the championship, the Premiership, Premier League, should I say. And they got rid of him. But that was after a significant bad run of results.
Exactly.
And I hope that maybe they learn from these owners learn from those mistakes where they just get rid of a manager's not done particularly anything wrong, but they're just having a poor run of results. And I'd like to see Leicester stick by Brendan Rodgers, because I think he's a good manager.
Well, a classic example is Arteta.
Yeah.
Arteta was trending Arteta out. It's not that I wanted Arteta out, and I've said this in a past podcast. I thought Arteta was not the right manager. He'd gone in at the wrong time. And I said, I hope he proved me wrong. Okay? Seems to be proving me wrong.
But
regardless of the last week's result.
Obviously I heard this rumour today about whispers about, well, of course, at the minute, like any manager who gets a poor run of results is risking the sack.
This is why I don't listen.
Is this the papers making mischief, or is this actually coming from the club?
This is yeah. I mean, obviously,
fill the back pages.
It's speculation. It's rumours, speculation.
But I mean, if you look at Brendan Rodgers, I mean, he did a great job at Swansea.
He's a good manager.
He did a great job at Celtic.
He's a good manager.
I think he did a great job at Liverpool. He was very
He did
lucky.
a very good job. He nearly won the league.
Oh yeah, Mr. Slippy.
Slippy,
yeah.
Slippy fell out, didn't he?
I mean, you know, City won that league, so I'm not going to be too apologetic about it. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Liverpool looked for all certainty that they were until that game against Chelsea. And then the game against Palace.
So what I am saying about Brendan Rodgers, you know, is every job that he has undertaken,
he's done well.
He's done bloody well.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you need a change.
Sometimes you need a change.
He's never actually stayed on a job for a long period of time, has he?
No.
So he's never done like a, you know, obviously Ferguson being, or Wenger, you know, would be.
I don't think we're ever going to see
extreme case of that. But,
I don't think we're ever going to see a Ferguson or Wenger.
But you know, Potter's been there for a while.
Again,
Howe was there for a while at Bournemouth. He's never gone beyond that sort of like level. You know, 4 or 5 seasons. And maybe you're right. Maybe he is getting.
But he has. He's kind of each time he's moved on to a bigger project, hasn't he?
You would suggest.
Brendan.
Yeah, but you would suggest Liverpool to Celtic wasn't that.
Well,
probably. And Celtic to Leicester is debatable in a way.
No, excuse me, I disagree. Look, Liverpool to Celtic, okay, was a major move because Celtic, you have to remember, although we're talking about the English Premier League, in Scotland is a major team, okay? I mean, they are worship.
We're not going to argue that.
Okay, fine.
No,
so
we never
no,
said
but
it.
the level of competition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's you know,
especially at that time.
You've gone into another league, okay, right, in a team that's worshipped, okay, so you can't take that away from him. Then he went back to the Premier League because let's be honest, and I don't want to offend any Scottish supporters out there, yeah, but if you have to look at it, the Premier League is more revered than the Scottish League. That's why a lot of the Scottish players, their goals, their objectives, okay, they would like to come and play in the Premier League. 1, for the competition, 2, obviously, or maybe 1 for the money and 2 for the competition. I don't know, depending on the person. So, look, the Premier League is the #1 league in the world, without a doubt.
I think it definitely is at the moment. You know, I think people have been claiming that for like decades, but I think actually at this moment in time,
it definitely is.
Right, in the 90s, it was the Serie A.
Yeah, so I think you can argue, you can always argue La Liga was also there with the Premier League in the past, but I think now in this era, especially with all the money that they're getting from TV deals, sponsorship deals,
That's what it's about.
all the money coming into the clubs in terms of ownership. I think, you know, without a doubt, the Premier League is flooded with money, and therefore it's
That's why it's #1.
And then it's flooded with players because of that, and top
That's
managers.
why it's #1.
Because obviously the top managers want the big budgets to be in charge of a football team that can you know, do something. You know, that's what anyone wants in terms of management. You know, be in charge of someone who can do something.
What do we actually think about the result?
Yeah, talking about going back to football, going back to the actual football. So here we go.
It's Leicester.
I know it's lost. I know it's Leicester. I get 2.
He's gone, isn't he?
I've gone off on one. I've gone off on a tangent here. Leicester versus Watford. I think Leicester are due a result. And I think they're going to have to do it now for Brendan Rodgers. Otherwise, they're going to lose him. I think you are right. I think he's on the edge now in terms of what's happened this season. So I think, Leicester will beat Watford. I just don't rate Watford.
He said he was on the edge, not me.
Yeah.
Me, I said.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
But that was the tabloids, and that was the press, okay, the media.
That's some bullshit then.
It probably is bullshit, but I mean, I didn't have to be told by the press that Solskjaer was going to get sacked if he got beat.
Exactly.
I did say
it looks like an amazing result, that, but it's not.
I did say last week that Watford were going to beat them, and
you did, yeah.
And I believe
kudos over there.
I did believe that it was the end for him, but I also think that Leicester are due a result, and I'm going to go for a Leicester win.
I can't see it, not the way they're playing. I'll
Is
go for Watford.
this the Arsenal-Watford connection here?
No, but I think the way they're playing is Watford. I'm going with Watford. So
I think they've got some good. I think Watford have got some really good talent. I just think they're going. I said this when Ranieri took over. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.